All right, let's get this out of the way. I'm a Hemi guy. I wish they were keeping the Hemi. I hope they bring back the Hemi. That would be awesome, and I would buy a Hemi before I would buy any other engine in a Dodge Charger. That's just my feelings, and I think you all know that. With that said, we are supposed to, depending on how things flesh out with all the current tariff situations and everything else, but all that aside, Dodge is saying that we're going to have, by June, that means probably September, but let's just assume they hit June, that we will have the twin-turbo i6 Hurricane Dodge Charger on the market, hitting dealership floors, meaning we will have a 420 horsepower standard output and a 550 horsepower high output version of the Dodge Charger in a six-pack with all-wheel drive and the ability to turn off the all-wheel drive and just do burnouts and donuts, which we all love to do, which the Daytona EV in the Scat Pack version with the Stage 2 cannot do. So with that said, we are looking at an opportunity to get a ICE version of that car, gas engine, and massive horsepower. We're going to talk about that right after my intro. All right, so what I want to find out from you all is if this intrigues you, because it certainly intrigues me. And I just want to go back to the days of the Pedal Commander days, when all the YouTubers, myself included, were given a Pedal Commander or a version of the Pedal Commander to do a video on, and we plugged them in. They gave it to us for free, and it was a cool thing, and it felt like the car was faster, even though the car was not faster. But it was really cool because we were able to just simply plug it in and go, and it was there, and it worked. And when we took the car in the shop, we'd roll around on the floorboard and unplug the thing and drop it back off and keep on going. Well, what if now, with this twin-turbo i6, we can do basically the same thing, a little bit extra work, but still simple plug and play. And all we got to do is spend $600 or $700 or even $550, and we could potentially get upwards of 100 horsepower more out of our cars, and reliably at that, assuming that Dodge delivers us a hopefully improved and bug-free version of the twin-turbo i6. All these are in the ether as far as whether we think that's going to happen or not. But let's assume that they do deliver a reliable version of that twin-turbo i6. And now that's when the comments are going to happen. I get it, but we have to start somewhere. And if we do, then for a small amount of money, the huge difference from what we'd have to do with the 5.7 or a 6.4 to make the car get an extra 100 horsepower, it would be thousands and thousands of dollars. But to do it in the twin-turbo i6, it's $700, $550. Would that intrigue you? Would you do it knowing that it's going to void your warranty? And I got to think, I might roll those dice, knowing that a new engine, a twin-turbo Hurricane i6 is going to cost me $13,000, $14,000, and then the cost to put the thing in. I mean, it's an expensive risk, but based on all these people with the trucks and the Grand Cherokees who have already used these tuning devices, these plug-and-play devices, why wouldn't we, knowing that many people have gone before us, and get this kind of horsepower in an all-wheel drive Dodge Charger? Let me show you what I came across. So in doing my research, based on some of the videos I've done in the past here, I came across this gentleman's page, YouTube channel, called Peak Performance Engineering, and he actually does the install on his Hurricane 3-liter twin-turbo standard output in his Ram truck. And in this video, he shows the simplicity of this, which is all very simple plug and play. It's not any splicing of wires. I mean, it's something literally I can do, knowing that I'm not the most mechanically advanced kind of guys, but I could do this with my eyes closed. It's very simple, and it's just these plugs. Real simple. Go watch this video. I'll put a link in the description below, and he shows what it's like driving the thing afterwards. And in this case, with the Diablo Sport tuner by Holley, he's picking up, I think it was 60 to 70, I think it was over 70 horsepower. Well, let me show you. So he's just plugging it all in right there. Let's go look at that Diablo Sport tuner. So It's called the Pulsar Cat 6. It's for the twin turbo Hurricane engine, already being used in the Ram 1500 and Wagoneer, Grand Wagoneer. This is the engine that's going to be in the Dodge Chargers, certainly tuned differently, and than a truck would be. And trucks, they oftentimes max the top speed a lot lower because of the tires and everything else. But assuming this is going to work on that, you better believe it's going to. They're going to make sure of that. Then let's look at what you get here. So supports standard output and high output. The standard output sees gains of 78 rear horsepower on premium fuel. The high output sees max gains of 63 wheel horsepower. That means that you're going to take a standard output to just about 500 horsepower. So you could save some money on that car and get the standard output version and take it to 500 horsepower. Knowing that it can handle it, because the high output version is going to be likely more money, very much more money, knowing Dodge, and it's going to come with 550 horsepower. So assuming that these things are delivered to the market reliably, then you're looking at, with a 550 horsepower version, getting to 613 horsepower out of that thing on premium fuel. I mean, and look at the price. You're looking at $689 to put this thing on. Now, you can go watch this gentleman's video, and I mean, it's awesome. It comes with the app. You can easily control it. It's got multiple different modes. It's actually, that's not it. It's this one. Multiple different modes to be able to adjust the power levels, or just simply go back to stock. So let's say you just want to focus on going on a long trip and gas mileage and not performance. Just tap it and you're in business. I got to think that's intriguing to some of you. I also found another one by ID Speed, and I did dig in some reviews on these things, and I haven't found anything glaring or terrifying. Now, these haven't been out for a super long time, so we'll leave the jury out on that. But for $529, you can pick this thing up for the 3-liter i6 Hurricane twin turbo. Of course, they call this a beta, and they're promising advertising power gains of up to 104 horsepower to the wheels on a stock 1500 3-liter Hurricane. So that would be pretty significant if you think about it. So here's their pitch here. Improves the 0 to 60 times, compatible with both standard output and high output. And I mean, it's got 8 maps for various fuel and modification levels. Plug and play. I mean, I got to think this is pretty intriguing. What I do like about watching the video on this Diablo version from Holley is just, it looks very, very simple. This one definitely looks like you might want to be a little bit more knowledgeable in these things, but you can get up to 104 horsepower, which would take you over 600 horsepower. What's that? 650, over 650 horsepower in the high output version with this simple device, all plug and play. I don't know about you all, but I mean, to make a Hellcat faster, you're doing a pulley, you're doing some other stuff that's going to cost a heck of a lot more money. And the reality of it is I mean, you could do just some other very simple things here with this twin turbo i6 and start scaring 700 horsepower. I mean, could that be possible? Now, what's the reviews say? And when I was digging in the reviews, most of them were just positive, and they're using it. They're excited about it. One guy says here, these engines can be very reliable, up to 700 horsepower, but would beef up the tranny, though. You may need it doesn't say it, but you may want to get a tranny tune as well. Some of them are advising, but these are some pretty good reviews overall. Been in the BMW world for a long time with these things, just fine, and I see them every single weekend out there on the road. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. So check out the reviews. I know I found some reviews over here. Some guys were saying that the 104 horsepower was a push. One guy said he was looking at more more of maybe 60 or 70 horsepower more. I'm good with that. Now, of course, these are on the trucks, so we'll see how this tune overlays into that new Dodge Charger Hurricane, and I got to think that it should be pretty easy to definitely beat a 600 horsepower number all day long. But I expect just for $500 to $700, we're looking at getting to 650 horsepower out of one of these things with all-wheel drive. And dare I say, could this be a Hellcat killer? Well, it depends on the weight. Well, Dodge is already saying that the weight isn't going to be bad. Shouldn't be much worse than the current Hemi Challengers and Chargers. And I think they were saying around 4,200 pounds. So all things being considered, let's say they're within 100 pounds of each other, a Hellcat versus this thing with all-wheel drive, I'm thinking we're going to have a really, really fast twin-turbo i6 with a very cheap upgrade. This thing can be doing some serious damage out there on the highway. But I'd love to know what you all think about that. Is this a reality? Do you have any experience with these tuners? Do you have any experience with these things? Do you own a Ram truck? Have you done it? Are you having great results from it? Everything I've watched so far and watching Peak Performance's page, it appears that he's just ecstatic with his, I believe it's the Holly version of that thing. And I don't know. I'm excited about it. I think maybe it's a good bridge to the Hemi if it takes Dodge another year and a half to bring back the Hemi. This could at least get us something that will be a lot of fun, go really fast, do amazing burnouts, do really fun donuts, drift, and do all the things we like to do, albeit it's not a Hemi. I agree. But it is still going to be something that I think should be taken seriously on the road as long as they deliver it reliably. So with that, please like, subscribe, comment, share your thoughts, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.